Someone tell Imagine Dragons. I'm your host Youssef, and these are 10 terrifying creatures found after radioactive events. Make sure you subscribe and ring that bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Anyways, let's test the reactor. Number 10. Grey Wolves. After the catastrophic consequences of the Chernobyl meltdown, trees briefly acquired an unusual red hue, and the area immediately surrounding the reactor was dubbed the Red Forest. Apex predators in the Red Forest are radioactive wolves, whose population may be roughly 7 times larger than that of similar places, according to some studies. The animals' extensive wandering is a concern because their corpses are poisonous to handle. Number 9. An extinct lynx. It was originally believed that the Eurasian lynx vanished from Europe. However, scientists discovered in 2014 that they had returned to Chernobyl. This species of lynx flourished since there were no humans in the radioactive zone, just like many other creatures did. The species was exterminated in Western Europe in the early 20th century due to urbanization and hunting, but it survived in some areas of Siberia. These little animals now reside in the hundreds at Chernobyl. Scientists are unable to establish the radioactivity of these critters due to their extreme elusiveness and the perilous nature of the zone in which they live in. Number 8. Deformed birds. Radiation affected more than just land animals in the aftermath of the Chernobyl accident. It has been shown that birds are particularly vulnerable to nuclear fallout. This especially applies to the barn swallows who live near Chernobyl. The population of barn swallows was found to exhibit a number of horrifying abnormalities in the early 2000s, including malformed beaks, disproportionate plumage, partial albinism, and noticeably smaller brains. Number 7. The boars of Fukushima. After the Fukushima residents left, wild boars emerged from the mountains and occupied the area. The boars parade through the streets of coastal towns like Namie and Tomioka, where they search for food and occasionally assault people on their way back to their houses. The situation will get much more chaotic and uninhabitable if we don't get rid of them and establish human leadership in this town. It was planned to withdraw the area's evacuation order in March 2017. The town's violent boar rulers made it very difficult, if not impossible, for the Fukushima residents to relocate in peace. But the humans aren't going to take it quietly. Hunters in squads are using air guns to shoot boars and setting up cage traps with rice flour as bait. So far, a single team under the command of Shoichiro Sakamoto has captured more than 300 boars. Number 6. Eagles. White-tailed eagles, which are endangered, appear to be doing well in Ukraine. This means that the birds will experience a range of abnormalities such as tumors, asymmetrical beaks, and lower reproduction rates. Even yet, it's estimated that 249 species of radioactive birds can be found in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, with the majestic eagles making a significant resurgence for the first time in over a century. Away from human sight, eagles construct their nests in deserted watchtowers on windy winter days, lending the atmosphere a sense of grandeur. Number 5. Spiders. The Chernobyl Red Forest has been blanketed with radioactive particles for almost 30 years, and fresh webs of radioactive material are constantly being created. The hazardous atmosphere of the forest is increased by radioactive spiders as they weave their webs to capture their victims. These webs are unlike any other spider web. In fact, the manner they are woven suggests that a genetic mutation may be about to occur. They pose a risk to any non-radioactive animal that comes into contact with them, because they are likewise extremely radioactive. Unfortunately, I don't think they glow in the dark. Number 4. Cows. Before the meltdown, the region surrounding Chernobyl was a thriving center for agriculture. Their farm animals were taken with the people when they went. However, the offspring of these radioactive animals had severe genetic abnormalities and mutations. Farmers reported birth problems in 1989, citing a mutant cleft lip in one cow among their herds. Cows continued to consume tainted feed over time, internalizing problems that became less evident on the outside. Even if they appear quite normal, cows close to the zone generate poisonous milk that should not be consumed. Number 3. Kittens. Following the catastrophic Chernobyl accident, many pet cats were left behind, which ultimately resulted in a wave of wild offspring. Entering and exiting the exclusion zone at will, feral cats graze on radioactive insects and rodents. In the exclusion zone, there are more than 100 stray cats, and efforts are in progress to find homes for many of them. Number 2. Bisons. The only prey for tainted wolves is radioactive bison in a scary location where eagles soar, abandoned houses fall, and radioactive vegetation shoots up through the crevices of a forgotten landscape. With a maximum weight of 2,200 pounds, these enormous creatures pose a threat to predators due to their size. Since bison live in the infamous exclusion zone of Chernobyl, they continue to radioactively be contaminated by the food they eat. Number 1. Butterflies. Fukushima's butterfly population has demonstrated an exceptional sensitivity to radiation. According to a study conducted by biologist Joji Otaka of the University of the Ryukyus in Nishihara, Japan, butterflies and butterfly larvae fed radiation-damaged leaves had higher survival rates and physical abnormalities like short forewings than butterflies fed leaves unaffected by radiation. This effect was observed at several radiation levels, including ones that were previously believed to be too low to do any harm. This seems fairly dire, but there is still hope. According to Otaki's research, butterflies that survive by eating contaminated leaves are likely to build up a tolerance that will allow them to withstand the low radiation levels, which is fortunate because Fukushima will probably continue to experience that for the ensuing few decades. Thanks for watching. Those were 10 terrifying creatures found after radioactive events. Leave a like and comment if you think we missed anything, and we hope you have a scary day.